Hi, today we are going to see data validation. Let me open my workbook. So in today's topic we will be having how we can update the data validation, how we, on any cell, how we can apply data validation rules. So we will be seeing what is the any value, how we can update a whole number, decimal, list, date, time and test element. And last we will be seeing the how we can circle invalid data and how we can uncircle invalid data. Also we will be seeing some error tips, how we can update notes, like if user is updating any invalid data, how we can guide them to enter the correct data. So what is that this data validation is, I have a small table. Say for example, I have taken serial number, the student name and subject, year and marks. So in this I want to make sure that what are the subject available on the these four subject only to be selected for the associate, and in year field I should be selecting only these years only. We cannot have any others to be entered. So and then in marks I should be entering only from 10 to 100 any marks we can. If I trying to enter 9, it should give me warning message, this value does not match the data validation restriction defined for this cell. Okay, and if I'm trying to enter something else, say for example logics, if I click it should give the error, but if I put math it will now give any kind of error. Then if it in the year, if I'm trying to enter some other data, say for example I want to enter 2000, if I click on that it will give error, but if I enter 2020 then it will not give the error. If I try to enter any value rather than 10 to 100, if I try to enter 110, then this time it will again give the error. It will ask for the retry and cancel and help. If I put 100, it should accepting. So let's see how we can do this one. So I have these topics, like these are the fields we will be covering. So I have created one purposefully this table. So any value, what is the any value in the data validation? First we will see where we can get the data validation option. So if you are on home page, go to data tab, and in data tab under data tool option, data tools, you will be having one small icon called data. If you hang over data validation, so you have to click on this. Once you click that, you will be getting this this kind of dialog box where the subject will be data validation, and first thing will be setting. In setting, validation criteria, here you have to set the criteria. What is the criteria you want? So any value by default for all the cell, it will be remain as a any value only. Say for example I have selected as of now E5. Any cell if you go and put the data validation and check, it will be any value. So whatever the value you will enter, it will be allowing. So by default setting is any value, right? Then if you click on the drop down, you will be having whole list of the thing whatever I have mentioned here. I have noted out all those here. So any value, by default it will be any value, we can enter anything. Then we will be whole number, it will be whole number, and in whole number if I click, any numeric number value you can enter, but the challenge will be you will be not able to enter decimal points. And again once you click whole number, you will be having several options, logical statement like you want to between, not between, equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than, equal to. These are the logical statement we can put. So if I am putting less than or equal to, what is the maximum? So if I want 100, so anyone try to enter any value less than the 100, it will be less than or equal will be working, but more than that, if I enter 100 here, till 100 it will be accepting, but above than that it will not accept. So we have here between. If you want to say I want to enter in between, like I in this example which I shown you, where I was trying to enter the student marks where I put 10 to that, what was the criteria I have defined there, 10 to 100, it should be selecting as a 10 to 100. So if I go there, if I click here in marks, if I go to the data validation and see what is the data validation I have updated, I have selected whole number, it cannot be decimal, and between 10 to 100, right? So if I'm trying to enter any value other than 10 to 100, 100 and even 1, it will be throw me error. So first example, our example is any value, how we can enter any value. So just type, it can take any value, anything we can enter. Now whole value, whole number we will check. We will go to the data tab and then click on the data validation, and now I'll check the whole number. And what are the criteria we have seen? Not equal to, between, right? So as of now I'm clicking on the between, and I need any value should be entered from the 100 to 200. So I'll putting minimum value as 100 and maximum as a 200. And if I click OK, one more thing we have to do, we have to, whatever the field we wanted to have data validation, we have to select them. So I have selected F5 only in the while I was showing you example, and this time only the data validation got applied on this cell only. So if I enter 200, it will accept. If I put 200.3, it will not accept. But if I enter 201, it will accept. Sorry, 200 to what was the criteria I put? 100 to 200, sorry. So 100 to 200 is criteria. I'm just entering, say for example 102, it will accept. But if I put 102.5, it will not accept, will throw the error. Even it is between 100 to 200 range, it will not. Other than that, if you try to enter any test, right? If I try to enter any test, it will not accept. Only whole number it will be accepting, and that to 100 to 200. So this is how. Now if I try to, here I have applied data validation in this cell, but since I forgot to select, right? If I try to enter any value, right, 100 and 0.2 or something, right, it will accept. Okay, so now I'll remove that one. For entire thing I will do, I'll select that whole, like I'm going to apply whole number. If I any data validation already applied on the cell, if you are trying to modify that range, right, it will say that already some cells having some data validation. If you want to continue, click yes. So if I click yes, it will get extended. And now what are the criteria I want this time, I can apply. If I don't want anything to be modified, just whatever it is fine, just click on this. So what happened now? Entire range now it has the same. If I'm now trying to enter here some value, this will not take, it will throw error, and it was for retry. If I retry, it will ask to remove or enter some other data. If you put cancel, it will go away. So 100.51 and click on that, it will say that error. As of now I am getting very basic error. I will show you how we can, even this error, how we can modify. So for example this one, how we can modify, we can see that. Now whole number, any whole number, if you try to enter from 100, it should be between 100. So 120, 130, all this will be taking. So by this we can avoid any kind of other data to be entered on the cell. Now we will see the decimal. So in decimal only one change will be there. It will be also accepting the, if you enter like 100, it will also accept. If you 105, it will also accept. So only one challenge is both the number will, it will be accepting. So let me select entire cell, this range, and go to the from data tab, click on the data tool and go to the data validation, and now it is showing as any value by default. So I'll put as the decimal, and this time it is asking between, right? Between, not between, equal to. In the case we want, we don't want anything on between, like 100 to 200, any value should not be entered. In that case we can do equal to, not equal to. We can, if something we don't want it to enter, like put not equal to, it will be greater than. So this time I'll just, for our under, like just having different kind of example, I put on the greater than. So any value, what is the minimum value you want? So greater than 500. If I click 500 and OK, so any value less than 500, if I try to enter, it will not, it should not accept. So I'm putting 300 and it's throwing a error. If I put 500, it is a, sorry, greater than, so 501 should be okay. 501 has been taken, right? But if I enter, say for example 500.5, this is also taking. So in decimal, you want to enter the point, you can enter, or is that without decimal point, both will be equal. That, but what is the value you are going to enter, it will be taken, like it should be based on the your criteria. What are the criteria you define? It should be like you should be, it should be matching. So I have put the criteria 500, more than 500. So anything above than 500, it will be accepted. Even 500.001 is a valid one, but 500 will not be valid, it will give the error. So hope you understanding this logics. Now we will seeing the list. Even, yeah, sorry, one thing I forgot to miss here, only decimal numbers, like numbers will be allowed. If I try to enter test, it will not take. If I try to enter any date, it will not take. Okay, only the numeric value will be allowed in the decimal. Now we will seeing that list. So let me select that one. It is a very simple, very straightforward. We should be having one list. Click on the data, go to the data tool, click on the this table. Now it will, we will in the any, we will change to the any value to as list. Click on the list. Now we have to select the source. So it will ask for the reference, where is your, like list is there, we should be having some list of numbers. So what list you want, we can put it. So as of now, if we have some list, we can refer. So I have, say for example, let's say take this one as a list, or if you want, then you can you have to create it. So before that, like to show that the subject, right, I had created this four list, and then we have created this one. So that's why it was reflecting. If you want to create, you can create it. So we have to put cancel here, and what we have to do, employee 1, I enter that. Sorry, I'll drop down little bit here. I have in 10 employees data. Now I'll go to the that field, list field. Let me select that. So for list, you should be having, if you want to have the data validation as a list, so you should be having the list already with somewhere stored, so that you can use that. So I'll put in the list, and it will ask for the source. Click on there. Here I want. So these are the list. I click OK, and if you see, we have one drop down on every cell. We having one drop down, whatever the range till range we have selected. If you don't select, like we have not selected this range, we are not getting. But if you have a data validation even on numbers and decimal, it will not come only on the drop down. Drop down will be only available only on the when we select as a list. So I'm clicking on this, and if you observe, I am getting all these employee 1, employee 2, employee 3, all list, whatever the list we have here, it is reflecting. Say for example, you want to change or anything, list got changed, I will make it a employee 101. Okay. Now if you go and put in drop down list, you have 10 got removed, and but here if you observe, the data did not get highlighted, like it did not get changed. So until unless you go and click and drop down and change it, it will be remain whatever the last time you have selected. So that is the beauty of it. So someone changed that list first, it will not get the value change here automatically. Again we can select. So all this field we will be having data. Okay, then another one is date, right? So let me select this one, and similar whatever the option we were getting for the numbers, right, same thing we will be getting for the date as well. I click on the date, it will ask date should be in the between or in the less than greater than, whatever the option you want you can put. Say for example you want to date, select a date as January 2022 to till this year. So I'll put 31st 01 then 2022. So this year only date should be in the this year. So I click on OK. Now if I try to enter any date, so let's say to put today 10th 27 2022 match. Okay, something is wrong. Let me select, see what is the wrong we have done. Between, okay, I have put only one, so sorry, I have to, it actually I have selected January only range. So if any date I enter on the January, it will be working. So I'll put as a 2nd January 2022. No, it will work. But since I have the range I have selected as the January only, so it is reflecting here. So let me change that again. I'll put as a till December. So entire year any date you enter, it will be, of course it will. Let me try now. I'll update 27th October 2022. So if you observe, the date is getting entered, but any date I enter other than this year date or next year or any, for example, it will be throwing me error. So let me show you. I'll try to do January 1st 2023. I'll hit, it will give the error. Now the similar way for the time, let me select that cell. Okay, let me go to the data tab, click on the data validation, click on data validation. It is asking yes I want to continue, and yeah, select as a day time. And in the case if I want to data to be like not between two, so any date, if you are, I just wanted to show you some other logic. So if we want the data should not be in the not between, so we have to give the start time. So sometime what happened, whatever you take for the last time, right, it comes here. So if something is there you can remove it, but while you are entering the time you should be entering, this is the hour, minute and second time. So any as of now you can enter any time, but it should not be between 9 to 11 am. So if I click OK, and if I try to enter any date here, say for example I enter 9:30 09:30.00, it should give me error. Okay, but if I enter as 8:30 08.3000, if you observe it taking, so anything between 9 to 11 it will not take. So let me click again. I'll try to show something else. Equal to, if I click equal to and 9 o'clock, so exactly 9 o'clock I have to enter, else it will throw the error. So I'll put 0:30:00 and will give the error. But if I click 09:00:00, it will be accepting. So hope you understand how we can enter and set for the data validation for the time. Now test length, very simple. Any test written, I say for example we wanted to limit sometime test, right, this text should be enter, the any message you can enter, any word you can enter, but length should be that much only, that much character only allows. Say for example, I just wanted to have anything you can enter, but the character length should be 4 only. So how we can do that? Just click on the data tab and click on the data validation and click here date test length, and in between, so as of now test length between should be, you can use at r10th equal to anything we can do. So let's do it between only, and I want test length to be enter, anyone can enter 4 character minimum and 8 character at max. So let me now, if I'll try to type only ABC, it is giving error because we have just entered 3 letters only. So I will put ABCD and it should accept. It has accepted. Now I'll try to enter something, some more characters. So I will put ABCDEFGH, 8 characters, accepted. But if I put I, one more character, it is giving me error. Okay, the similar any word we can do. Hello word. If I click on that, it's giving error. But if I enter here as a 6 character or 7 character, is taking. So hope you understand how we can use the test length. And as of now, one more thing we have to cover, actually want to cover circle invalid data. So we will see in the little later, but we will see what is this. So how we can handle the error on the our data validation. Say for example, if I entering any data here, hello world, if I clicking on that, I am getting a very generic message everywhere, right? And also, so how we can modify that error? So for that we have to go to data validation, and so far we have covered only this window only, right? We have seen all these options, only this window. So here we have input message. What is the input message? So whenever you selecting that particular cell, it will give some suggestions to some message to you. Hey, you have to enter the data, this data. So you are guiding that user to enter some specific data. Say for example, here in this range, I'll put message as, hey, you have to enter a text, and range should be 4 to 8 character, right? So this type of message, right? For this text box, I'll put as text box here, please enter only any text with 4 to 8 character length. So now if I click OK, if you observe, whenever I am moving my cursor here, whenever I am on this cell, I am getting text box. This is the text box. Please enter any text within 4 to 8 character length. So if I'll try to enter, so by this, right, if user on the screen, that person will come to know, hey, I have to enter the this much, like this type of data and this much only. The similar way we can here provide a screen trip. So whatever the range we wanted to select, we have to select, then only. For other range it will be not selecting. So we have to put like, hey, time, put some meaning in title, no problem. Time, please enter time as 9. So if I want put 9 to 11 o'clock, say for example 9 to 11. Enter any time between 9 to 11. So this time when I click on this, it is getting, please enter any time between 9 to 11, but of course I have to change the criteria, because criteria we have, for example, we have set as a 9 p.m. only, so it will taking that much only. So this is the about our the message on the screen whenever the user is trying to type anything. Now one more thing, how about the error which we are getting, right? How we can, if user is trying to get any kind of invalid data, how we can customize that error message. So on error message we have one option called, is 3 options are there: stops, warning and information. So say sometime what happen, we just wanted to user to warn it, okay, like, hey, you are entering something which is out of our range, but still if the user wanted to enter, then we have to put as a warning only, okay. If we wanted to just give a information, we are not going to warning. So we'll see that let's see what error we are getting first here. Say for example, I am entering here a data as 300, okay, it is giving me error, invalid data, and it is stop. It is asking for the retry or cancel. Now what I'll do is I will change the warning this thing, error type, and click on here. This time I will change to the warning. Let's see what happens. I'll put some title as whole number. Anything we can enter here, no problem. Please enter whole number. Now if I click OK, and if I try to enter something which is not whole number, I will put 150.4. it is giving please enter the whole number. The message whatever I have entered there, and the message is title, it's given whole number, that is the title we have given, and it is asking continue. Wanted to continue? Yes. If I want to continue, it will accept that value. It has accepted. It is not just stopping us, right? It's accepted. Say for example, if I again enter 200, sorry, whole number, I still want to continue because it is out of range, like we have put 100 to 200 only. We have entered the extra number, right? Yes. Each time it will ask if you wanted to, user wanted to continue, it will allow to go, right? Then here one more thing we will see. In decimal, I select the range and click on that. This time I'll put as information only, okay, for decimal. I give some number, please enter decimal only. Click here. So in now what you will be observe, if I am entering something else, before that it was not allowing, right? If I am entering hello, please enter decimal only. Okay, cancel, yes, okay. If I click OK, that value will be taking, that it will take. It is not stopping us there, okay. Just give the message like, hey, you supposed to enter only this data, and it is asking just yes no only, nothing else. Now I have given this table to someone and asked to enter the data, but I just wanted to check based on the what are the rules we have provided here, someone has entered the correct data or not. So is there something wrong? I just wanted to highlight, which is our circle invalid data. So we have covered this error, stop, warning and information. Now our last topic is circle invalid data. How we can check that? On the same formula on the data and data tool, if you click here down, you have one option called circle invalid data. Click on this, and if you observe whatever the places the user did not enter based on the what is the rule you have provided. So here you should be having whole number, here you should having the value should be 100 to 200 only, and here you should be having decimal point, but you have the different. So it is highlighting these are the information is incorrect. So if I enter it correct data, I will correct this one. I will just enter like 502. So now it got removed. Say for example, I got it like, hey, this is the invalid, but still I don't want to change, right? But I want this circle to be removed. So what we can do is just click on this and clear circle validation, it will go away. Again we wanted to see, we can click on this, sorry, we can click on this drop down and click on the circle validation, it will be coming as circle, so we can remove. Hope you have understand. Just try by yourself, it will be very easy, and once you understand that, nothing like that, it will be, you will be master on this. Thank you so much for watching. That's all for this video.